Hello, Team Absolution fans, far and wide. It is your captain speaking, and it is time for another. I was in Milwaukee last week, so I couldn't give you one then, but it's time for another one, another damage check reshuffled. It's the Dangerous duo today. Unfortunately, Andrew was busy. Keith was busy, but the express always arrives at the station, never leaves me behind. The Gunplow's in the back, looking hella fresh. We got Braxton. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
There we go. There we go. So, of course, for those of you, this is our podcast style video where we answer some questions, we dive in on a topic, and we discuss some spoilers of the week. Today, though, is a spoiler bonanza. One, we got to play catch up, but more importantly, Bushiroad was doling out the spoilers this last week because we had a product stream. So we're going to really focus this one on just the spoilers, and then we'll cap it off in our thoughts on them and then we'll cap it off with uh with a little hashtag Ask Absolution. So remember, hit that subscribe if this is the kind of content you like. Let us know what other kind of content you'd like to see, and then in the comments today, let me know what spoiler has excited you from the ones we'll talk about throughout the episode. What one makes you the most hype? But before we get to spoilers, let's go ahead and talk about um, let's talk about the first thing from the product stream. According to where I've got my sources here, we've got a JP ban list update. Of course, the English update is not official yet. I'm sure it will be coming soon, if it is going to come at all. But the Japanese ban list has been updated to reflect Trick Moon to 1, so Bav continues to get the hits. And then,
Bad
uh,
times.
how do you say these other two cards? Charmanet?
I think that's Shalamu, and the other one's Sturgna.
Sturgna
So,
and Shalamu. And what was Sturgna used in?
Gandiva's card,
Okay. And Charmu was used in
Levidrus.
Levidrus. So Levidrus back to full power. And Dragveda back to full power. Or no, Gandiva, sorry, Gandiva back to full power.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
well, they are no longer restricted, so they
Hmm.
are back to full power. Whether full power brings them into the meta, I don't know. But they are now unrestrained, I guess is a
Yeah.
better way to look at it. However, Bav does get hit. That's the one I want to focus on. Trick Moon to 1. Braxton, what does that mean for Bav as a Bav
Yep.
player?
I mean, you lost. Now we only have one 25K booster, and we're down to one counter charger. Is it enough? I don't know. Maybe. One Trick Moon, one Verilord, no Drag Veda. I don't know, man.
Well, in your personal play testing, have you tried this out at all yet, or no? You still using?
No, not yet. I'm just gonna
Well, yeah,
wait
you're
and
still
see what
preparing for
happens.
Rosemont anyways, right? With because the old list is still live.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know if this is gonna be enough. Like it is definitely gonna be frustrating because if anything happens to that Trick Moon, it's just gone for the rest of the game. Which means if anything happens to that, your Verilord's basically gone for the rest of the game too.
so you just yeah. Now Trick Moon has become a Virgilla buying target.
Yeah, basically.
If
But
it's on the board, get rid of it.
which means like in certain matchups you can't even play the Trick Moon until you see the Verilord. So
Oof.
yeah, it is what it is. Speaking of Virgil, I'm surprised there weren't any hits on Virgilla, to be honest.
I don't think they're gonna hit Virgilla. It's too much of one. It's a popular deck, which so is Bav without a doubt. But they let Bav do its thing for a little bit, so I think they're gonna let Virgilla do its thing. Um, And I think the second thing is that they're just like it's a main character deck and they don't want to ratchet it up. Plus it's just aggro, man. Eventually it'll get curved out. Eventually it'll get curved out. That's how aggressive deck. That's been my history with aggressive decks is that it'll be good for a couple months and then it's gonna run out of gas. Um, but it is
It's been
really
more.
good right now.
It's been more than a couple months, big dog.
Well, they're letting them cook. They're letting them cook. So moving on in terms of the news here, so that leaves us from the ban list. Again, that's just Japan only. I don't know if we'll end up getting it, um, but we'll get probably something. The thing I'm saddest about, and I think we talked about this in our chats, is that I don't know if Rezael needs the dog restriction right now. I think it needs the dog more than ever. In fact,
Release the dog.
I think the restriction has nothing to do with the power of the deck with the dog now, and I think it has everything to do with they want to make more support, but they can't make any grade ones to replace the dog, so they just ban the dog.
Yeah, like we just
Because there's no grade one they could, in my opinion, if I have the option to use the dog, I'm gonna use the dog every time.
yeah, like Dissection Angel's cool and all, but it's not dog.
It's not dog. I would sooner use dog in Rezael if dog could be used than Dissection Angel. I think there are other decks that utilize that card better, like Minerva. And when the card is like $30 a card right now, well, I think it's 30 still. It might be down to 20, but it still ain't cheap. It still
Let's
ain't cheap. I don't know how expensive Dissection Angel is, but I
let's
know
find out.
dog hold value. And I got two play sets.
Okay, while we're talking about that, yeah, let's find out what Dissection Angel is sitting at. What was it set? Nine? Yeah,
Hmm.
brave explosion of explosiveness.
Yeah, it was just this last set.
Because a 10 is right around the corner, actually. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Clickety clack, clickety clack. Oh, sitting at a smooth $25.
$25. For
I
$100,
think
I'd rather have the dog. I'd rather have the dog.
25 is a pretty
Um,
good price, though, to be honest, considering where it fell from.
that's true. One more thing. So talking, moving on. We've got a Lyell Draconis DSR. It looks gorgeous. If you haven't
Really
seen it,
does.
you should take a look at it. It looks very pretty. For those of you on that, Lyell, is that how you pronounce it? Lyell?
Lee IL.
Lyell.
Yep.
Um, and then the most important news for me is this free run collaboration. I don't know if it's coming to English. I don't care if it's coming to English. I'm buying the Japanese cards, and no one is stopping me. I'm going to build this deck and play it at locals until the day I die. Like, I love free run so much. It is one of my it is already only one season in, one of my favorite animes of all time. In like my adult life, I love free run.
That's
I
good.
love free run.
Man's gonna
So
show up to locals, get DQ'd from every game, doesn't care. You can get the
doesn't care.
win,
Just let me
buddy.
play.
I just
I'm
let
gonna
me
win
play
the
free
whole
range.
tournament and then immediately get DQ'd, and I'm okay with it. I'm like, I will lose every game. Just let me play this deck. Um, so we'll talk more about the spoilers because it's a very interesting deck, in fact. But moving on, let's talk a little bit about some upcoming sets. It is a product stream. Uh, it can't be another year in the world without a lyrical set. So we got DZLBT02, which is going to be an Alk encounter. So we're going to be getting good
Christmas
old,
themed.
what'd you say?
Christmas themed.
Christmas themed set. It's going to look pretty adorable for those of you who like the lyrical monasterio style. We got a shark, we got shark, and we got elk, which is an encounter. Which could be interesting because encounters in lyrical tend to be well, Prism was pretty good. So I maybe Alk will be good, maybe Alk will not be good. So we'll see what's gonna happen there. But I'm excited for Andrew, really,
Okay,
in
what did
that
old
regard.
Alf even do? There's 1300. And then they didn't really do much of anything. So I guess the mind their imagination is their oyster and whatever this they want this card to do.
That tracks. Let's move on to some other cool stuff. So we've got DZBT12 Abyssal Void Burial is revealed, and it turns out that this is based on the Skyride manga, which is fantastic. What does this mean? Is because this set could have a lot of really cool stuff, including, and more importantly, Luahan support. It could have
No,
Luahan support.
wrong manga, wrong manga. You
It
Luan's
could
Youthquake.
still have Luahan support. Let me drink my copium, okay? It could have Luan support. No, but we could get some more Virgila support. They could, in the English, I could see this being a set where they release the Gallatin promo in this
Oh
set
yeah,
as the box topper would make
they
sense.
could, they could. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It would make sense because it is the Skyride set or the Skyride set.
Yeah,
Um, but it looks like we're getting Eternal Idea Alcastle, which is Dark State's red line, and we got Deeplands Regurginis Athanasios, which is a Stoicheia
We we
red
got a
line.
fish and a bird. Good job,
We
everyone.
got fish and bird. Some pretty cool. It looks like these are sisters or something. I'm not quite sure what the lore is. I got to read more Skyride, and by more Skyride, I got to read Skyride. I have volumes 1 and 2. Still need to read them. 2 still sealed from Duluth. 1 I bought at a used bookstore. Um, it turns out that the cards, Philia and Maedith, which were promos in the Skyride manga, are also based on these units. They're related to this whole storyline. So really cool stuff. I'm excited. Braxton, my quick question here before we move on.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
I like them introducing more Skyride stuff. I just think that's cool.
mhm.
I think that's neat. I support it. I think the Skyride stuff has been popular. Virgilia's one, bro. I haven't heard anything about Estacion, the other Stochea dude, but
It's a good deck. It's
but,
still a good deck.
Virgilia's got the heat, dude.
Hmm.
He got the heat. I love that deck. I love that deck. And
No, I'm
now with
definitely big fan of more Skyride Sport. From what I've been seeing in, well, if they keep the trend, especially because the Overlord promo comes from that series, so I imagine going forward, a lot of the encounter stuff is probably gonna also come from that series.
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Moving on, we got Monster Strike also returning in JP in BZT12. I'm sorry, DZBT12 as extra cards. Not really pertaining to us because I don't think it's a collab we're ever going to get. I
Yeah, we
think
didn't get the first few Monster Strikes, so
unless I mean they could pull something between set 11 and set 12 where they give us all of Monster Strike in some kind of special master like because the doors are open. Bushiroad's not opposed to releasing American only product or like product
yeah,
like a set that only because they did that with Virgil already
yep,
and they've done it sometimes in the past. So it
yep,
means it's
especially
not
with the
outside
Legion sets.
yeah, the Legion sets are a good example. The Regilla one's the most recent example that I think really plays
Hmm.
into this is that there is a world that I can see where they do but if they can get the copyright stuff sorted, or maybe it's already sorted in the back end, that maybe between sets 10 and 12, they
Hmm.
release some American only like master deck set or some like set like Koro Koro that has the old Monster Strike stuff
Yeah, kind of like
in
what they did with Shaman King.
preparation. Yeah, preparing to release the more stuff later. Because
Hmm.
Shaman King technically did have 2 sets and they were merged when they came over here.
Yeah.
So it could also be that too, that after BT12, it's not including BT12 and they just do some master set that includes both stuff.
Hmm.
I could see them doing either way. I actually think that's what they're going to do with the free run in the English is that they'll probably release it as its own mini set later in English. But by then it'll be curved out of the meta most likely and won't be an important thing, which is why I want to get the Japanese cards. One, because they're probably going to look for Rush. Um, moving on, when it comes to the product stream stuff, we've got 2 master deck sets that are releasing with Liel Odium and Liel Amorta, which Amorta is the first one, right? The original.
Yep. Yep.
And Odium is obviously the faded one. Um, right? No, the
Destined
destined
one.
one. Odium
Hmm.
is the destined one. Amorta is the faded one.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Get
and that's
ready
kind of
to.
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of good news for those people who didn't buy into it. I of course want to see what I think no stride deck set this year was actually a good idea. I think we're curving out on like stride decks that people truly want. Like, of course, I want Outmile, but that's a me thing. I don't think people are clawing for Outmile support. We've gotten the major hitters, right? We got Messiah, we got Luard, we got Shiranui, we got Chrono
Yeah.
Jet. We've
We
hit
got
the big hitters, and we got
we got
Night
Night
Rose, and
Rose
we
and
got
Hari.
and Hari. So like the major heavy hitters. Like I said, I still think they might eventually do one next year for Outmile and Asha to go ahead and close out that team, but they may also not. Actually, I'd also be down for one with Aquaforce and Kagero. And
Oh yeah.
do
Hmm.
Blaze the Blaze guy, the brother and Water Dude. Um,
Lambros. There we go.
Lambros Thavas
Yeah, there we go. Lambros Thavas and Blade
and
Master and
Blade Master,
whatever.
yeah. So I think having those two deck sets would be interesting, or Stride deck sets. But instead, we're getting Master deck sets, which I'm totally fine with. I don't know if Odium will sell a lot. It depends on what support Odium gets between now and then. Um, but I do think that if there's other support in there, that a Mortar one will sell out. It also depends on.
Especially
Go ahead.
especially with Draconis coming out.
Exactly. I was going to
That's
say that
it.
Immortal one's going to be popular because some of that support is universal, can work with
Mm,
both units.
mhm.
And I think another interesting thing, this comment on this post that I'm reading actually wants Grand Gallop and Gurgoyle. Those are other two that I don't think we'll see in a very long time. The reason is I don't think they're hammering to release another Stride deck set for Keter,
Yeah,
which is
that
why we didn't get
too.
Outmile, which is why we're not getting Gurgoyle. It's like Ketter's got too many heavy hitters in the Stride area, and I don't think they're going to release it. Grand
Mm.
Gallop, I think, is not a bad choice because Brankett only has one.
No, they got Messiah.
Yeah, they only have one.
Yeah.
Stride deck set, right? Yeah. So they only have Messiah. So I could see maybe the Grand Gallop route, but we don't have a lyrical stride set, so that would be kind of cool.
Hmm.
Um, Anyways, I'm moving the conversation. I'd be interested to see what reprints we get in these other than the boss units. Because that also kind of is it going to be like the other Master Deck sets where we're going to get an exclusive Regalis piece like Shroud and Darkness, or are they going to reprint some of the more popular ones? I'm down for either thing. I'm just interested to see what they decide to do there.
And are all these cards in this master set gonna be straight commons, or are they gonna just put some more foils in this one? Are
Yeah,
they
or
going?
are we
Are
going
is there going to be a God Master deck set where everything
or
goes foil?
or is it going to be Master Deck sets and Master Deck set premium editions?
Oh yeah, that too. I didn't
Like
even
you
think
get the
about that.
big box and they can do that. I mean,
The
it's too.
mat, everything's foil.
Yep. So that leaves us
Wait,
out of the. Go ahead.
which means if they do that, another foil energy marker, my guy.
Another foil. Honestly, they could just plug in the foil energy marker and I'd be down, man.
Yeah,
I've got so many energy markers after that Koro Koro thing I did. I
and
have
none
like
of them are
seven. I have
foil.
7 energy markers, I think now, and one of them is foil, and it is my top 8 energy generator.
Mm-mm-mm.
Um, so let's talk a little bit about. So that leads us out of the proper whatever you want to call it, the proper
Product.
product stream. Now it leads us into free run. So far we've only seen a lot of the cards, but not everything. It looks like there's going to be a free run, and for those of you who don't know, go watch free run. I'm not going to talk about the series too much here, but and
Real
there's
good. Real good.
really good, like incredibly good. I'm mad that I didn't buy the mat now. Like I'm so mad. If you, in fact, if you when you're at Rosemont, let me know if you
If
see
they
the
got a mat,
if they got the free rent mat. Um,
is it like just a regular mat or is it like a Weiss mat or like what am I looking for here?
I think well they had just the Weiss mat one with the zones, but they also
Hmm.
at the Bushiroad table had like an exclusive, not an exclusive, but like one of their Bushiroad mat, like official Bushiroad mats.
Right.
Of like it didn't have the zones and it was free rent when she was like hashtag spoiler for those of you who haven't seen it, when she's like floating over Aura
Got it. Got it. Got it.
with
Got it.
her
All right.
staff. Yeah. So, but so these first sets of spoilers are all about Freerun, who's the master mage, right? Fern and Stark are two other important characters to the series. It looks like they will also be getting decks and ride lines of their own, which is super exciting, or at least decks of their own. All of this also exists in Heater Sanctuary, but based on everything I've looked at so far, this is very self-isolated. There are only very few of these cards that will be able to be utilized outside of the free rent deck. And one of those cards actually the only one I can think about
Is the reprint.
is the reprint, is the new reprint, which we'll talk about, which I think was so well done. Um, let's talk about Journey to Arule free rent. Okay. This is Keter Sanctuary. The subclass is free rent beyond Journey's End, which is the name of the anime. Uh, Act, Vanguard, once returned, Counterblast 1, and perform all of the following based on the grimoires in your order zone. This deck is actually a Keter deck that's all about set orders, which is really interesting because Keter, I don't think has a set order deck.
Not that I can think of.
Usually that is a Brant Gate. Also, Dark States does because Dark States has Odium and
Uh,
some other decks as well that do
yeah,
it.
they have the Grandma Glass deck.
Yep, the Grandma Glass deck. You have Brantgate, which has a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
Prison, Dark World, D Robos, D Hero or B Heroes. Like I could go on and
Yep.
on. Most of their decks actually do that. Lyrical does with the book deck and some of the other ones. The songs deck,
Yeah. 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 A lot. Laurel?
Lorelel, and then also the one that was like the Overlord Restander girl.
Oh, Leisha fell. No, not Leisha fell. I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember her
She
name.
has it.
That the
Um,
fireworks orders and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
Stoicheia, I can't remember off the top of my head if they have a strictly set order build deck, but I want to say they do. Um, oh
Mm.
yeah, they do. Zorga.
No, Zora doesn't have a set order. He just plays
Oh,
orders.
he just plays orders left and right.
Yep.
And
All right.
Levi-Dross doesn't because that's in Levi-Dross's kind of skill set.
So Undercover has a set order.
Oh, okay, undercover. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good call. Okay.
Undercover has a set order, but that's the only deck that has one based off it. Technically, I shouldn't say technically. The Greya has like a couple of her own set orders, and then
But
there's
the deck
the
itself isn't based on set orders. That's
right.
kind of what I'm talking about. A deck
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is surrounded around the concept of using the set orders. In this case, it's all about grimoires, which are like spell books essentially. So for every spell
Mhm.
book in your order zone, if you have three or more, you get to draw a card. This is an axe skill. If you have five or more, your front row gets 5K. If you have seven or more, the Vanguard free rent gets drive +1. Um, and the other skills act once per turn. Energy blast any number. This is so nuts. And choose a grimoire in your order zone for each energy blast one for this cost. If all the cards chosen have different card names, activate all their original auto abilities. That is sick.
Yeah, and
That's just
lore accurate.
That's lore accurate. It's so thematically perfect for free run for those of you who have seen it. It is also just a really cool ability. I like it a lot. I don't think it's incredibly powerful per se, but those grimoires do a lot of stuff, man. But you also have to be able to do it. Now, granted, if you can get enough grimoires fast enough, you're going to be cooking. And sometimes you don't need to activate, you're not going to energy blast seven. You're probably not going to have. I mean, you might have seven grimoires in there, but maybe not with different names. So that's what I'm talking about there. The ride line is really all about finding normal units or grimoires. Really grimoires, to be honest. Uh, There's a Himmelin free rent card, which looks beautiful. You check it when it's wrote upon by the grade 3. You check the top 7 for one normal unit that has free rent beyond Journey's End on it, without Sentinel, and add it to your hand. Shuffle the deck. The reason to go on a Journey Himmel is when placed from writing from Hero who strives for peace. So when writing from the grade 0 to grade 1, you reveal a grade 3 in the ride deck. And you put a silly but fun journey token in your order zone, which is awesome.
That's the set order that's you place all your grimoires in, right?
Yep, that's the one you place all the grimoires in. That's correct.
Uh-huh.
Then you have Hero who strives for peace, Himmel, which is just the grade 0. I will say this will be the grade 0 I play in all my decks if we get the set. And you know what? I'll get DQ'd off the 0 alone. So I'm just gonna play Himmel and everything. Especially if they come in, if that grade 0 comes in for yo, bruh, they ain't ready. They ain't ready for it. Um, Moving on, let's talk about Zero But Fun Journey. So this is kind of like the main set order. In the order zone, continuous, you cannot put set orders other than this card and Grimoire cards. Once per turn, when this card is put into the order zone, or when your Vanguard free rent in its card name is placed, You can search your deck for up to one Grimoire and add it to the order zone. If you search your deck, shuffle the deck. And then also, once per turn in the order zone, when your free rend beyond Journey's End normal unit is placed on rear guard, if it is not the battle phase, you can search your deck for up to one Grimoire card and add it to your order zone. If you search your deck, shuffle it. So basically, you get to add two orders per turn through this card alone. Two grimoires. One when a Vanguard is placed or when this is placed. So if you Persona Ride, you're going to get two per turn. If you don't Persona Ride, um, you get one. Because if you play any normal unit that has that free run beyond Journey's End not dead. This is what I was talking about. This deck is clearly made to be synergetic with each other. It won't really work with the mixing up too much. Um,
I think you can only get, well, outside of other skills, I think you can only get one because it says when this card is put. So it's talking about the token. You're not running more than one token, right? Because you only have one
right,
way
right.
to.
Well, hold on. But it says when this card is put into your order zone or when your Vanguard with free rend in its card name is placed.
Yeah,
So if you
which makes
Persona
sense.
Ride, the order goes off and you get one.
Right. But
And
you can't get two per turn, can you? Or
yeah, because if you Persona Ride, you get one from the first skill. And then if
right.
you place a normal unit that has free rend in its name on rear guard, you get another one.
Oh, okay. I see the third line. Reading is fundamental, everyone. Yeah,
Yeah. So bare minimum, so long as you're calling something, you get one. But if you Persona Ride and you're calling something, you're gonna get two.
seems good. Deck thinning is deck winning.
Exactly. If anything else, this deck is gonna deck thin like a beast. Um, creating a magic to create a field of flowers. Now we're talking about some of these orders, these grimoires, if so to speak. Um, you may only have one magic to create a field of flowers in your deck, so you're only running one of these. Play this with Energy Blast 2. If you have a free rend Vanguard with free rend in its name, when this unit is placed in the order zone, you may place a plant token on rear guard, which is kind of cool. You get to use the little plant token. And I think we get a special plant token in this set, actually. One that's like the Field of Flowers.
So
Um,
I
then
think
we've
you can only
got
play one of these grimoire. I think all these grimoires have that text too. You can only play
yeah,
one of
you're
them.
only basically you're running, I think, like the seven that exist, like the seven
Mhm.
or eight. Um, magic that turns sweet grapes into sour ones. You can only use one of it in your deck. You Energy Blast 2 for it, so long as you have a free run Vanguard. When this card is placed into your order zone, choose a card from your hand and you may discard it. If you discard it, choose either a grade 2 or less normal unit without Sentinel from your drop or an order card without Regulus piece from your drop and put it in your hand. So this is good for cycling. This is just good stuff.
Yeah, especially if any of your grimoires ended up in the damage and you healed them out.
Hmm. Gotta get another one. Um, Magic that controls stones like puppets, same thing as always. You can only have one of this order in your deck. When this you play with Energy Blast 2, when this unit is put into your order zone, choose a card from your damage zone, heal it, and if you heal the card, put the top card of your deck in your damage zone face down. If you chose a face-up card as effect, put face up instead of face down. Does not activate trigger effects. This is classic Angel Feather stuff right here. We're replacing stuff in the Draymond. So to Braxton's earlier point, you could definitely use this order to heal out any other orders that are in your damage to then cycle back with the third order later. There's some lines here. Braxton, any thoughts on any of the cards I mentioned? I'm hammering these through so because we got a lot to go through.
No, it's basically what I said. Just repeat what Jose said, but in my voice. That's just how it works.
Then we've got Magic for finding lost accessories. You only have one of it in your deck. Energy Blast 2 is the cost. You have to have a free run Vanguard. And by free run Vanguard, I mean actually has to have free run in its name. Um, when this card is put into your order zone, you may choose a trigger that is neither a heal nor over from your drop. If you chose a card, return it to your deck and shuffle it. I like
Putting
that
crits back,
we're putting
baby.
crits back, baby. Actually, throw in some of those fronts. Get the 20K shield. Get the 20K shield.
Hey, that can work too.
Um, and remember, every turn, if you energy blast and you choose different cards, you get to trigger all these skills. You get to combo off all these skills. So enjoy that. Then we've got magic that makes shaved ice. Only can have one. Energy blast 2 is the cost. When it's put into the order zone, draw a card. So basically, this would just be a free draw, which you're already getting a free draw if you have three in the order zone when you activate the skill for free red.
Good.
Um,
I said we love our card draw.
Magic that removes rust from bronze statues. You can only have one of these. Energy Blast 2. When this is put into your order zone, choose a card on your circle, turn it face up, and stand it. This unlocks or undeletes cards.
Which is very crazy because we don't have delete yet in standard.
So it is very interesting that they specifically mention it. It's also kind of concerning because that means maybe delete is coming back, which is a little scary. A little
Very
scary.
considering Persona Ride is a Vanguard skill.
I was about to say, if delete gets rid of Persona Ride, that's nutty. I love it, and that's nutty.
Hmm.
Um, so that's the bronze statues. Um, Now we got Hate Kanji Magic to analyze treasure chests. You can only have one of them, Energy Blast 2. When this is put in the order zone, look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom. We're scrying. I like that a lot. This would probably wouldn't be the first one of the first ones I would search out, in my opinion. Because even if you only have like three energy and you want to do uh and you want to do this and like two other things, that's useful as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I agree.
I would if it were me, like and I only had three
Just make sure it's
energy.
the last one you activate. So
Well,
you
yeah,
don't,
I
scry, draw two cards, and then we're like, wait a minute.
yeah, basically what I would do is I would draw the card for the skill of free run. Then I would draw a card for the skill of the
The other
of the
one.
grimoire of the grimoire that draws a card. I would bounce a trigger into the deck, shuffle it, and then draw, and then scry the card at the top. Therefore, increasing my probability of it being a trigger because I added a trigger back to the deck. Now that's
Hey.
dirty. Um,
And if you don't like
magic
it, just
that
put it on the bottom.
magic that makes things float. Energy Blast 2, same thing as before. When it's put in your order zone, choose a card from your drop and you may put it in your soul. That's pretty nice too. I don't know how soul is going to play into all of this, but it could be nice. And the last, the big boy, the Jurajin, like one of her like greatest spells. Um, Energy Blast 2. You can only play this if you have a Vanguard with free run in its card name and your opponent's Vanguard is three or greater. That's how you know it's the strongest. Choose a column, retire all your opponent's rear guards in that column, choose your Vanguard until the end of the turn. It gets all your front row gets power plus 5k, and the Vanguard gets critical plus 1.
Keep in mind, this is a normal order.
And this is a normal order. Oh yeah, this isn't going into the order zone. This is the wham bam. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I guess if you can add a card from drop back into your hand, right? You can just keep adding Drawage back to your hand every turn.
Exactly. This order notwithstanding, the rest of the orders on their own seem very meh. But the thing is, when you're activating two to three to four of these,
Nah, seven every turn, baby.
Jesus, you're activating all seven of them, you're doing a lot in one go. And it's pretty sick. I'm saying you do five because you want to save two energy to hit them with the wang bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh yeah, this is Energy Blast too. You're right. Hmm.
So you want to use, so I'm saying, you hit it with the three or four, and then you slam this bad boy down, and you're like, and you're finished. Um, so I'm a big fan of this. To keep the energy going too, though, we have Natural Gifted Priest. He's one of the priest characters in the show. If you have a Vanguard, is free run, it has free run in its archetype. When it's placed on rear guard, you get a soul charge one, and you can put this unit into the soul to energy charge three. This card's going to be so good in the stack.
Also, not once per turn.
It is also not once per turn. Sloop, sloop, sloop. Energy Blast 9. Let's go. I'm gonna do the 7 and then hit him with the wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Um, so next we've got subjugating the is this a wait, hold on. If your Vanguard, it
Subjugating
gets
the
all of the fall.
EN Sound.
Which one's this is Fern, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. So when it's placed on rear guard, either Counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. When it attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets plus 5k. If I played a normal order this turn, aka the turn you hit him with the wham bam, thank you ma'am, it gets 10k instead of 5k. For those of you who have seen the show, this is actually incredibly thematic. Um, just given the fact that the normal order is from a certain scene in the anime. So I'm like, oh, this is very clever. Um, it's a good card. Braxton, I don't think you got any problems with this card.
They they, they gave the deck connoisseur their own version of Gallatin, which is kind of nutty, minus the guard
Ex-
restrict.
Minus the Garden Street. They also gave exactly. They gave it a version of a cycler that isn't a cycler.
Yep.
Um, then we got Stark. Same thing. You have to have a Vanguard with free run Beyond Journey's End on it. Rear guard Guardian Circle. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets power plus 5k, power or shield plus 5k, also active on your opponent's turn. It's little boy Azurward.
He's a Zerwer, but slightly smaller. 10k shield
Sli-
instead of 15.
he's just a little shy. He's still learning how to be the best hero he can be. You know, he's doing his best, I guess.
Hey
Um,
man, this man slays dragons.
from the drop, if you play a normal order and you do not have a rear guard with the same card name as this card, call it to rear guard. That is disgusting. That is so good. They gave this deck a maple, man.
Yeah,
And then at the end of the unit, at the end of the battle, if this unit attacked, if it's the first of that battle of the battle phase and your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Soul Blast 2, stand this unit. Disgusting. Disgusting.
a reoccurring title assault. Yippee!
Absolute cinema.
That's crazy.
And that's why the soul matters, right? Because
Yeah,
that's why we're putting in the that's why that
we're
CN is
putting in
so
the
critical.
priest.
That's why the priest is putting in work. All right. Um, next we've got analyzing the barrier free rent. Uh,
It's the
uh,
PG, I think. Oh, wait, no, it's not. What is this?
no, so this is when the student is placed on rear guard, look at the top 5 cards, choose up to one free rent normal order from among them. So this is searching the grade 3 order, the big
Hmm,
boy order. Among them, reveal it, put it to your hand, shuffle your deck. If you revealed, perform you may counterblast 1. If you do not counterblast 1, choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul. So
got
good
it.
stuff.
So you play it, you search. If you grab it, great. You can now counterblast one to not put anything into your soul, or you put something in your soul. So
And you
if
don't
if you
counterblast 1.
whiff, it didn't cost you anything. Hmm,
If you whiff, it didn't cost you anything. And also, if you need to conserve your CB, it's not the only way to pay the cost, which I
yeah.
really like. I think that's really clever. I think this is an evolution of that Drag Raider unit that Virgilia uses. It's just in my opinion, a better version because it gives you even more lines of play. It's like,
Hmm,
okay, if I whiff, I'm not punished. If I
hmm.
succeed, I get to choose how I pay the cost.
Yeah, that's really, really
Um,
dope. They should make more cards like that.
I agree, actually. I think it's incredibly intuitive. When your other rear guard in the same column as this unit attacks without being boosted, it gets power plus 5k, which is kind of nice.
Hmm.
'Cause I think that's a
Go,
grade 1
start,
if I remember
go.
right.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
Then we got defensive magic.
This is the
Uh,
PG.
this is just a PG. I just studied defensive and offensive magic. That's all I studied. Um, last but not least, and this is actually so far all the so I love the deck's design because I love free run. But Wizard of Peaceful Times free run is the first card. I didn't know it was going to be called that, but it actually was the first thing I thought about. I said if there was ever a time to make Teofalt a freaking like collaboration card, this is the set to do it in. Not big boy, giant tall man from Koro Koro,
Hey, you
but
put respect on that giant's name.
hey, it's a $14 Teofalt. I'm happy with its existence. It could be the tallest man in the world. But Wizard of Peaceful Times, the art on this card is amazing. I'm so happy. And what
Look,
I love about it,
you see one T felt, you see them all. They all look the same. Don't.
because you can play this, this is what's sad is like this is the version that you have to play in free run, in the deck, in those collaboration decks, because you need it to have that free run beyond Journey's End on a lot of the cards. But if you don't want to play the free run collaboration, you can still grab this card and use it in all your Keter decks that use Tearfall. The order package has never been so packaged for you.
Literally.
I'm actually having a hard time, Braxton, and tell me if I'm wrong. I cannot think of another card that has been quote unquote rebranded as many times as Tearfall has. Because you have
Um,
Tearfall, then you
mhm.
have the two versions of Tearfall that are in the Koro Koro set, and now we have Wizard of Peaceful Times free run.
That sounds about right. Because there's T-Fall. I'm trying to think because I know a lot of the, not a lot of the, but I know the Shinries got rebranded for Dragon Empire because there's the Shinry, then there's the Buddha Bird.
The Blue Bird.
Um, can't think. I know some of the other T-Fell clones, the Dragon Empire T-Fell clone got reprinted in Koro Koro
Hmm.
too as a dude. But no, I think T-Fell is T-Fell. The Keter one specifically has been rebranded the most.
Yep. So, moving on. Uh, Braxton, please tell me who the heck is Venishow? Who is this dude?
It's Varga Light.
Okay, we're skipping this. I'm assuming this isn't good because I didn't know who the boss was, and this card doesn't seem good in its own. So I don't know if this does anything for the deck. Can I get a yes? Can I get a no?
I,
You know you're gonna get power a little bit better than I do.
I mean, I don't. The art's cool, but I'm not too knowledgeable about this
Yeah, it's cool
scoreboard.
because all three of these characters look ripped out of Honkai Star Rail. She looks like the wolf girl whose name is Fei Xiao. That looks like
Hey,
a
see, you did know
Droma.
the name.
Fei Xiao, a Droma, and that last one looks like Mighty with a tail.
Mighty with a tail. That's crazy. That's diabolical.
Moving on, we're gonna skip these lyrical cards only because I don't know if they're good or not, and I don't think they are. Again,
More free run support. Go, go, go.
more free. Let's talk more about free run. All right, let's do it. We've got the Ice Mage Lawi. This is when it attacks a Vanguard while boosted by Kane, another card. Basically, this is a classic grade 2, grade 1 if they're boosting each other combo. You can Energy Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's um, rear guards, retire it, and your opponent cannot play Blitz orders until the end of that battle. That's kind of cheeky.
Very.
And then the Kane, um, when this card is in the same name column as Laween, this unit gets power plus 5k, active on the opponent's turn as well. And when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, if your drop has 10 or more cards, Energy Blast 2 and it gets plus 10k shield. That's a nice card too. I think that that plus 10k shield could come in handy. Um,
Mm-mm-mm. Are you gonna have energy to spare for all that?
no. I don't think these make the cut, to be honest. I think these get played in a different deck.
Hmm.
Um, you got Ubel, which can only if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater with free run beyond Journey's name in it in the little subtext. Energy Blast 2 and perform one of the following. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets power plus 5k into the end of turn. But you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit and retire it. You can choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards in the same column as this unit, and to the end of the opponent's next turn, that unit cannot intercept and it cannot stand during the stand phase. So that's kind of cheeky as well.
Kind of like this card. I feel like that could make the cut.
That could make the cut. It is a grade 2. It is a grade 2 10k. So, it's a nice little support card. And then we've got another grade 1, which is clone magic user land. This gets intercept and can intercept from the back row. And when this unit is retired from rear guard during your opponent's turn, Energy Blast 2 and put this card into hand. That's a cheeky card. Also incredibly on brand for people who have seen the show.
Also, it doesn't need the does it looks like it doesn't need like the free run subtext, so you could play this in anything.
Yeah, no, you can play this in anything. It's actually just a really cool card. I actually think this card could see some play in many other decks, especially decks that don't utilize energy
Energy.
heavily. This could be like the money card, especially if you just want guard, man. This is just
Yeah.
good guard. Is it a once per turn too? It's
Mm.
not.
So you have more of them. Go, go, go.
So if you had a whole back row full of these, you can just like swoop, 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 energy blast six, and I'll take these all back to hand and I'll guard with them again.
No, it doesn't work like that because it has to be retired from rear guard. When you guard from them, they go to Guardian Circle.
Oh, darn.
They
You're
have to actually be
right.
like popped onto the board.
Jeez, those sons of guns. You're 100% right. You are 100%. I was too excited.
I say it ain't that busted.
All right, let's see who else we got here. So we've got some of the Steam Driller stuff, which I think works with Odium, if I'm correct.
Yes, yes.
Because in the deck, this card is a grade 3, because it's a grade 2, right?
Oh yeah, deck this
Yes.
card gets grade +1. Yeah, look at that.
And then rear guard during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lyle in its name, this card gets power plus 5k. If you have four or more regress gauges, it gets power plus 10k instead of 5k. And then in the Guardian Circle, if you have a regress gauge, it gets 5k shield. Good stuff. I actually think this is pretty good.
Yes, I can't remember exactly what the grade does for the deck. I think you have cards that like can search out grade threes, so maybe that's it.
Hmm. And then hand Soul Blast 1, discard this card. Oh, this is a different card. Steam Cutter, Samium. Soul Blast 1, discard this card. Choose a Distorted Bane from your drop and put it into your hand. I think that sounds good, but I don't know if it replaces anything else that's in the deck.
Yeah, that's fair. Because sometimes you just lose Distorted Banes to the damage and you heal them out and you're like,
Well, how am I going to get these back? Yeah, I agree. I think
outside
it's
of.
something that the deck needs. I just don't know if it's good enough to replace any of the grade one slots. That's,
Mm,
but that's just,
mm,
I'd have to talk a little bit to our friends who play Odium a little bit more to really dig into the
yeah.
knowledge there. But I do think
Because
that first card, that Marie, that Steam Driller Marie, could see some serious use.
yeah, because there are ways for the deck to just place Distorted Banes from the drop into
Mhm.
the regress gauge. So I don't know if it's better to do it that way or to just add it from hand so you can play one from hand. I guess if you have
100%.
multiple in the drop, then yeah, because then you can play one from hand and then still send one from drop to the board.
Yep, 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 yep. All right, let's dive into some good stuff. All right. Demonic Jewel Knight Leben Jotter. When this card, this is a Jewel support. Keith
You mean
is,
Demonic Jewel Dragon?
didn't know what I said?
You said Jewel Knight, my guy.
Oh, shoot. Demonic Jewel Dragon. Whew, a little rusty. All right. When this card, excuse me, when this card is discarded from your hand during your turn, choose a card from your drop and you may put it into your soul. Rearguard once per turn. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater, if your soul has four or more cards with different grades, it gets power plus 10k. When you soul blast four or more cards at the same time for the cost of an ability of your Vanguard with your jeweled in its card name, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, counterblast one and stand this unit. Look, I don't know much about your jewel, but I called my boy Keith, and he said we're going to the moon. This is so good. I've conferred it also with our Sixth Ranger friend, who has a good understanding of cards in a vacuum, and he says kind of busted. Braxton, where do you stand on this card?
I think it's really really good. It's a pseudo cycler in a way. You know, helps fill up your soul to spend cost for later. And if you really need to, he can target himself and put in the soul, which
Yep, yep,
works
yep,
with
yep.
other cards in the deck. So, and it's another free standard. So you know, if you really want to like ball out of control, you can run 12 restanders. Have a blast. Have a good time.
Now let's look at our new Soel, our Wings of Life Rook. This is continuous rear guard. If you have a grade 3 with Reziel in its card name, it gets power plus 5k, active on the opponent's turn as well. So we're talking about a grade 1, 8k base. So it could be 13 if it needs to be, or a 13k booster. You're living. Auto
Mhm.
rear guard. When it boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Reziel in its name, you can countercharge one. If you do, put this card into the soul at the end of the turn. That's pretty nice. We get another countercharger. We'll talk about this card fully at the end. Auto, Rearguard, or the Soul. When your grade 3 or greater with Res on this card name attacks, cost, bind this card, choose a unit being attacked, it gets power plus 5k. Sorry. When your grade 3 unit with Razai on this card name is attacked, not is attacking. I think I might have said that wrong. You bind this card from the soul or from the rear guard. Choose a unit being attacked. It gets power plus 5k into the battle. If your bind zone has two or more other cards with the same card name as this card, it gets power plus 5k. So it is essentially a way to get guard um, in a battle if you
Yeah.
have to. Um, and it's not once per turn. So if you did have two of these in your soul, you could trigger both of them. If you had three of them in your soul for some reason, you could trigger three of them. And then that last one would get power plus 10k. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way, but you could. Um,
No, the third and the fourth one get 10 instead of 5. If your
oh, yeah,
bind zone has two or more cards, so yeah, the third and the fourth get
the third
become
and the
10.
fourth, yeah, would have plus 10. Um, I think this card is good. I don't know. Do I run this instead of the Persona booster that can counter charge me every turn? Maybe.
Yeah, I kind of. The thing is now, Raza has so many cards now, and I'm just like I do think this card's really, really good, but
I'm
I'm
telling
like,
you, this is the reason why we don't have dog, is that it's a grade one and they want us to run it.
yeah, basically that. But I'm like, where do I make room for this? Because like, if we're still on the Dissection Angel grind, and then
Or
because they,
painkiller angels even.
yeah, that. Well, I think if even though then again, I have seen lists that run like one or two extra painkiller in combination with Dissection Angel.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, if you're on the Dissection Angel grind, like, where do you make room for this? I guess you, I guess at this point you're just dropping the Painkiller Angel for running both of these because this also goes into the Soul, which if you're running a Dissection Angel, then bam,
Yeah. So I think where I've landed here is that I think Raziel's going to end up being, which is so ironic because it started as a deck that was just like, here's Raziel, here's a few of the support cards for Raziel, and then the Keter good stuff.
yeah, and
Like
then the
that's
Keter
really
good
what the
stuff.
deck was.
Hmm.
Now it's like we have no more room for the Keter good stuff. You're running all the Raziel cards I gave you over the course of the last 10 DZ sets. You're running all the Keter goods, all the Keter stuff I gave you. No more Keter pile, only Raziel Keter.
I'm about to say, sorry, we banned dog. You're not getting them back.
So I honestly think that if we don't have dog unrestricted by the time this card releases, and this is set 11, right?
Yes,
If by
Mighty
set
Bloom.
11 they haven't sorted out the dog situation, I think you run this ahead of Dissection Angel. Because I think it gives you soul, it gives you countercharge, and it gives you power, which is literally everything. It gets power, it countercharges, it gives you soul, it literally does everything Dissection Angel does.
Nah, I mean, I think you just run them both, to be honest.
I don't know if you have room for both.
Mm, here's the, I guess so. I have to figure that out.
I mean,
But here's
maybe
here's
you
the
have
question though:
room.
do you run the one of Lio?
I don't know, Chief. But I mean, I think at most, I think you run this as a four of. You take out the Persona booster countercharger for
Yeah,
Raziel,
Aerial Sage.
and then you throw in. I don't know how many you run, but I think I was running two at most, maybe three. And
Uh,
if you're running two or three, then maybe you just drop down Dissection Angel to three and you run this at four. Or maybe you swap it and you run this at three and you still keep Dissection Angel at four. Some thoughts there.
yeah, because like they work really well together. Because like what Dissection Angel wants to Soul Blast retire itself to draw a card. But then if you drive check reveals a trigger, you Soul Blast 2 and countercharge, and it gets +5. So Dissection Angel in and of itself is a 15k booster if that happens.
Hmm.
And then Solo can go into Soul, which helps with your Soul charge, because the deck like eats up a lot of Soul at this point in time. Especially so you have that in conjunction with Nibiru, your grade 2 going into Soul. So you got a lot of options.
It's interesting. I'll be interested to see what Japan does with this card and where it puts it in. I'd be very interested to see. Because I mean, even Raziel got a grade 0 that they never ended up using. I actually really liked it. They never ended
Oh,
up
the
using it.
I mean, this is kind of like the evolution of that grade zero. Well, it's not the same character, but in the same vein
Yeah.
that it's a defensive card that you can play from almost anywhere on the board.
Let's talk about this Direful doll really quickly. When it's placed on rear guard during your main phase, if you have a Jejuled Magnus, choose up to one card grade less than or equal to your Vanguard with a different card name from the unit from your soul and call it your rear guard. At the end of that turn, put that called unit back into your soul. That's good. Dang, that is really good. And then
The
when
fact
it
that it's a dire
boosts,
for doll and you can't play it in the dire for doll deck is disgusting. But no, this
no, I
card's
love it.
amazing.
This card is so good. And then also, this is Corina, the Direful doll. When this unit boosts, if you have a Jejuled Magnus, choose up to one card from your drop, and if your soul does not have a card with the same grade as that card, put it into your soul. That's disgusting. This card is really good. This
This is
card
a
is so
custom
good.
card made for Trujillo.
We're not going to talk about the last two cards here, but I am going to talk about Drive Out Dragon. Continuous, if you have a grade 3 or greater with Raziel in its card name, this card gets all the following. Continuous rear guard during your turn, it gets power plus 5k. If this unit was placed in rear guard from the drop by your Vanguard's ability, it gets another 5k. So basically 10k. You know, if you call it from the Vanguard's ability, it's getting 10k. If you call it just for that turn, it gets 5k. Um, at the end of the battle that it attacked, Energy Blast 3 put this unit into Soul, so another card that goes into Soul. Choose a faded one of Miracles Raziel from your Soul or drop and put it in your hand. If you put a card from Soul, you may Soul Charge one. So you get to replace it if that's the case. Um, I don't know if this pushes, maybe it pushes up. It doesn't push up Nibiru. Nibiru's too good.
I think if you play this card, you play it at one.
Yeah, just tech it in.
Yeah, maybe two. Because I feel like unless you just like whiff all your Refisters and you're feeling sad, and you really need a way to like recycle either a Vita or just be any Raziel to put into your soul for the Vita
Hmm.
skill. Like I don't think this is a bad card. It's just room.
I agree. Um, so we're gonna talk about this one Alden card. We're not gonna talk about the other one. Knight of Magnificence Aval. During your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alden in its card name, this unit gets boost and power plus 5k. And at the end of the battle that this unit attacked or boosted, choose a grade 3 with Alden in its card name from your ride deck and you may reveal it. If you reveal the card, or you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alden in its card name, put this unit into Soul, check the top 5, choose up to one grade 3 without Regalis piece from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. Um, this is a good card. I think it's an actual plus for Alden. I think we're going to get a little surge of power there. Is it enough to bring it back up to what I would like to see it at? Not anywhere close. It's still not good enough. And adding more grade threes to the deck is a liability because you're already running so many. So I'm trying my best not to run any more grade threes, but maybe I
So,
squeak this one in.
well, this is a great two. So
Am I imagining this? I take it back. This is a grade 2. Why did I think it was a grade 3? This is a grade 2. We're running this. Get rid of the girl. We're running this instead. Forget the guard. I want the boost in the Power Plus 5k. That's sick. That's disgusting. I take it all back. That's so good. So good. How did I forget that? I really thought it was a 3 when I looked at it when I was in Milwaukee. Oh, dude, it's disgusting. It's so good. So good. Um,
the duality of man in like full swing in this point in time.
yeah, no, seriously, that's disgustingly good. That's yeah, we're gonna use that card. And it might make Alden a little bit better. I don't think it's gonna really top it out, but it might make it a little bit better. Um,
I don't know,
last
a
thing,
15K booster that can help find your persona rides or any other support card you're missing. It's pretty good.
was
Pretty.
there really to cap it off before we close out and that was all the spoilers. We discussed most of them. We did not discuss all of them.
Sorry.
But oh my goodness, we over the last 7 days, there has been so much revealed and so much announced. I cannot. Braxton, was there any spoiler that you were most excited for? For me, it was the free run stuff. I love the free run stuff.
I do. I am excited for the free run stuff. Um, also being a fan of the series. I do like Soul. I do, it's a pretty dope card. I am kind of excited for the master set to see like what direction, because this is the second set of master deck sets in this vein. So I want to see how they evolve that product.
Yeah.
Hopefully, make it more I don't new player friendly. Not to say the first two weren't, but you know, I am excited for set 12 to see what they do with that. Uh, I'm not excited for Trick Moon going to one, but you know what? You work through the pain, you know?
You get through it. You
You
get through
get
it.
through it.
Um, so hashtag as absolution. We got a question from our last video. This is from Paul Tom 1430. And this is, what is the best method to prepare for regionals aiming for top eight and above? Practice time, deck, selection, etc. So I'll give you my just quick hits here. One, time is relative. How often do you play in general plays a factor. If you're not playing very often, you want to play. Some what I say has been successful for Braxton and Keith, and even when I not this season was just a fluke. I picked the right deck at the right time. But like in 2024, we did a weekly practice thing where we got on Discord and we did practice for a couple hours every Tuesday or Wednesday. And that's what we did to practice. And I thought that was very useful. What do you think, Brax?
No, I agree. Very, very good.
So,
Definitely
so
helped get some kinks out.
don't oh, I do think there is a such thing as over practicing. I think that like you get into your own head about stuff because people don't play all play the decks the same. So getting as many people to play against you with the same deck that you reasonably can be helpful. Deck selection. Dude, pick a deck that's comfortable for you. Pick a deck that that you pick a deck that's good, but pick a deck that you're comfortable with that's good. I know that sounds stupid, that sounds like weird to say, but like in Vanguard right now, especially in this era, like there are like 6 to 7 decks that are playable in a regionals, I would say. What do you about you, Brax?
No, yeah, like obviously there's like Bev and Virgilla, right, that are like arguably like the one and twos. But from there's just a lot of competitive decks in this format right now. Like you got your Avas,
Prism?
You got Prison. Prison just finds the most awkward time. Well, no, like I don't want to say awkward times. Like right now, Prison's in a good spot because like so many decks use Soul, need
Hmm.
Soul, like charge their Soul, and Prison's like, and I'm gonna just rip that out now.
And then we got Blang, and you
Got
got, I mean,
Blank.
there's so many options.
There's Heart Luru or Heart
There's Hard
Lulu,
Luru, yeah. So
the
if
toy
you
guy.
So if you can't, like, if Regilla or Bav are not your speed when they're the top decks in the meta, there's plenty to pick from. Pick a deck that's there that you like to play, that's comfortable for your type of personality, and grind that into the ground until you're comfortable with it, and play that. Now, team selection, I'll tell you, I put Braxton in the middle every time because I trust Braxton. So when I'm stressed and I look over and Braxton's calm and cool and collected, I feel comforted. And I know Keith is the same kind of person. So like he's on the other side and he wants to look over and see Braxton playing as well and see Braxton playing well. So so we put Braxton in the middle and then we cover the other ends just depending on the situation. Um, and that's the honest answer. That's why we put Braxton in the middle. I could lie to you and say it's because you put your strongest person in B, which there is some science to that. You want to put your strongest person in B, but for me, it's just I just want to see Brax there in the middle.
Hear that, chat? I'm loved.
Um, that being said, it has been over an hour. We have grinded out another damage check reshuffled.
Real quick before we hand it out, just as the last tip, be realistic. And what I mean is sometimes, even though you're going for the top, sometimes you're just going to get sacked. That's just the lay of the land in this game. You
That's
can't
so
let it
true.
you can't let it get you down. It's so easy to tilt and get upset, but you just gotta play. You gotta leave your best game on the table, and whatever happens, happens.
And always remember, doesn't matter what round it is, the most important game you will play is the one in front of you. That is the most
Hey,
important game that matters. Is the one in front of you. And that being said, let us know what you think in the comments. Throw in some hashtag Ask Absolutions. We'll be back next week, and hopefully Keith will be back with us. This is the Braxton Express, and the captain signing off. Thank you, of course, Braxton, for joining me, and we'll
Yeah,
see you
yeah,
in the
yeah. Anytime.
chats. We'll see you in the comments, everybody. Peace.
Bye bye.